Hello from freezing, freaking cold Appleton, Wisconsin. Um, as usual, I don't really have much planned for this, but I am going to start this with one thing because I have permission, and I think we all need to hear this. Here, I'll let you look at him.
Wisconsin can be so cold. The scales of justice can erode. If we accept lies big and bold, or we forget we live on Avery Road. We live on Avery Road. Should be easy to see. This could be you, could be me. We shouldn't sit by idly, accepting everything that we are told. I live on Avery Road. I live on Avery Road. Avery Road.
Yes. All right, I'm all choked up. Oh boy.
I call it the wheel.
I'm pretty limited on my ability to use computers, so that was my big way of trying to figure out how to get that video with this song. Anyway, love that song, love his passion. He's fucking amazing. So I don't really have much. I wanted to talk about this letter tonight, and I've read it over. I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about it. I was hoping more people would come on so we could all talk about it together. But that's all right too, because I'm going to read it because I want it to be read. I just want other people to be aware of what his words are because he's asking us to listen. So again, I have to pull it up on my other computer to read it. And it's kind of, well, we'll see. I guess I should have done this while Stacy was singing. I'm sorry. I have a weird thing going on with this computer too. But I have it right here. Okay. I might go page by page because maybe we should just, read the first page and talk about it a little, and then we'll go to the next page. It's going to be so hard to read, but I will do my best. Okay, nice glasses, huh? Okay, this was written on January 23rd of 2022. It says, well, to all my supporters, exclamation point. So why did Bobby junk his black blazer? It was in good shape and only had it for a few months. Was Teresa Hallbach in his blazer? Yes. And that's why he junked it, to destroy the evidence that Teresa, was in it. So Earl and Chuck crush it to destroy all the evidence, and they know it all. Bobby, Scott, Barbara, Earl, Chuck, Carla, Candy, Kayla, Brittany, Marie, Michael Osmondson, Bobby's friend. They all stuck all together and they helped with it, all to set me up and get rid of me. They didn't want me around, and that's why they want to get me out of the way so they can take all my stuff and take all the property. And that's what they did. And they all stolen from my mother too. And Earl and Chuck crush all Barbara's vehicles that she had on her property. They crush all the vehicles she had. Why? All right, that's page 1. I actually think I'm going to just keep reading. I think that kind of makes more sense here. So. Okay, this is page 2. Can you hear me? I'm sure everything's all right, or somebody would have said something. I'm not good at this chat. This is my first one. I'm practicing here. Okay, page 2. And they all said I was guilty on this case. Earl and Chuck, Barbara, Scott, Carla, Candy, Kayla, Brittany, Marie said I was guilty. They want everything from me and my money and my property, and they get to now, I think it says. It's kind of a blurry picture. They were predicting Bobby. He has that underlined in, I think, on Millbilly's video. I think I think it seems like he meant to say protecting Bobby, but I'm going to read it that way. They were protecting Bobby, so I won't get out on this case. You do have that guy that's seen him with the Toyota RAV4 on Avery Road, and how would he have Teresa Hallbach car if he didn't kill her? Bobby stated that he hunted on the property behind Taddick's house on 147 east of the salvage yard at 3:02 p.m. on 10/31/2005. Bobby hit off the tower 363X 5.47 miles, 5.47 miles west of Avery's property instead of 370X, and Scott Taddick, his cell phone is the same as Bobby's. Scott talked to Bobby before this all happened, and Scott was waiting for Bobby up the road, and Bobby picked him up, and they went and got Teresa, and they put her in her RAV4. Then they had to hide Teresa's RAV4, and they had to, okay. And they had to put her in Bobby's blazer so they could get rid of her. And this is why they got rid of the blazer and crush it, Earl and Chuck. And Michael Osmondson helped Bobby and clean everything up. They were best friends, Bobby and Michael, and Bobby called him Michael. Every time she came out, this is the most important part right here, because I've thought this part all along, exactly what he's saying here, and I've never heard anybody said it, but this is how I would have suspected Bobby would have felt about this young, empowered, pretty woman coming out to the property. If he is looking up such things on a computer, he is absolutely noticing Teresa Hallbach. So Steven says every time she came out to take pictures, he was watching her, and he would talk to me that she would be out there all the time. He would be the last person to see her, and I think that was personal to him, Bobby. Well, maybe Bobby picked up Scott at Jambo Creek Road so Scott can leave his truck there and go with Bobby, and that's where they met, right? Then they had to catch up with Teresa, and that's why Scott was by Barbara's house that day, and they had it all planned out for this. And that's why their cell phones are west of Avery's, and this, page 4. This would make sense this way. And this is why Thomas Sawinski saw Bobby with the Toyota RAV4 of Teresa Saturday morning, so no one would hear them out there. Mr. Thomas Sawinski was delivering papers in the morning, so this all fits the crime, and they could be restricted for murder and destroying evidence. Everybody was destroying evidence, and look them up so we don't have a killer out there on the loose so he can kill again. I feel alone. This part really got to me too, and I think this is a big part of his letter. I feel alone from my family, and it seems like they want me locked up so I don't bother them at all! Exclamation point. I wish that somebody would say something in my family would help lock up the true killer, because I'm innocent. I'm sorry, it's really blurry. I think he says I'm an innocent man sitting in prison. I'm sorry, it's sitting in prison. I don't know what the last word. And then it says, thank you for supporting me. Or wait, sitting in prison for something I didn't do. I'm a million times innocent. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry, that it's a little bit blurry anyway. And so to me, the letter is a little bit more, I guess I take it more to heart, because all in this case, for me, it's a little bit more about the heart and the passion than it is, all the technical stuff, as everybody knows. But anyway, I don't know. Do you guys have anything? I got things to say about it, but I'd love to know where we at. Oh man. Oh, I've already lost control of the chat, you guys. What? I didn't know all this was happening. Okay, well, okay. You want to see the cat? Oh, right. That's funny. I think I made sure he was out, but he is an amazing cat. Hey, you guys. Hey, Becca Chu. Always, always good to see you. Well, what do you guys think of the letter? What are your thoughts on it? I know personally that Barb is upset about the letter, and she feels like he's listening to people that are influencing him, but it doesn't matter what Barb thinks. I don't think we know really if Zellner knows or how she feels about it. I kind of know, but I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about something like that. I guess it doesn't really freaking matter, because, well, I don't know. He is frustrated. He was frustrated. I don't know. I'm going to say I don't have that answer, but I know that, of course, the man is frustrated and he'd love to get out of there. Of course, we all know that. But one reason that I wanted to read his letter is because so many people haven't talked about his letter, and I kind of understand why. And that's all right, but I just really think we should all just get back on and, get back working together so we can, help this guy out. One thing I wanted to point out in the letter is that he has a really valid reason to point at everybody that he's talking about in it. And he has before, he's already pointed at Chuck and Earl. So I don't understand why that's anything new. What he's saying about Bobby, I mean, I think we all kind of knew that. I don't know. I'm gonna pause for a minute here because I think there's something here that I could do on my chat here. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so I'm should I start here? Okay. Well, let's just don't you guys just love the Stacy Seabrook song? I mean, do I even need to do I have to ask? No, the letter, Mazzy, it's the letter from a month ago, but it came out and nobody really talked about it. So we wanted to just, I guess, kind of totally respect Steven's wishes because I felt like he sent it to the supporters and a lot of people weren't looking at it. So I thought we should at least read it and talk about it in some way. Okay, is the letter from January? Yes. Hello. Prison for Taddick, yes. Let's get this. Okay, so what about Bobby's black Chevy Blazer? I mean, I know a little bit about it, but I don't know a lot about it. I mean, I know that it was crushed and all that, but I don't, do you guys know anything? Yeah, I can tell. Oh man, I'm already getting a little sidetracked by all these messages. Okay, so you guys do it up if you have something really important. I thought my friend was coming on to help me with the chat, but I guess not. That's all right. We got it. I was gonna try. I'm looking at this, and I know that the last time I did this. Oh wait, maybe it's here. Let me look in here. Nope, not there. Anyway. I think that I think his comment was more that, because I've heard he said it to Kim too, that just in general, Becca Chu, anything, it wasn't, I mean, I think we all act like it's a salvage yard. They do everything by the book. You wouldn't dare crush a car without a title or whatever. I think that's kind of what Steven's saying, but he is specifically saying, why did she crush all the cars? He said he talked to Barb, and Barb said that Earl crushed all the cars. So I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Of course it's suspicious. It's also, yeah. Okay, that Bobby crushed his Bronco but never determined a date or time frame. Yeah, I don't know. Is Barb and Pete Dassey influencing weak people? I guess I'm kind of going backwards, so. He is hurt. God, I'd be so angry. I wouldn't even be alive yet. I can tell you that right now. I don't know how he does it. I don't know if he was trying to shake the tree. Sounds heartbroken. I think the best outcome that he was wishing for out of that letter is that somebody in his family would contact him. That's my opinion. Because like I said, it's one thing to come to the conclusion after all these years that they may be involved, but the reality of they're not going to take calls, they're not going to write to you, they're gone, they're just fucking gone. That hurts, I'm sure. And he doesn't understand what's going on. I mean, I know he talks to people out there, but there's no way that he can comprehend the amount of work and research that so many people have put into this because, I mean, it's unbelievable. So, and there, the other thing that I think is so debilitating for he and Brendan, which I think they absolutely love, is that they don't talk to each other. I think they made that division, and I understand why Steven's upset with Brendan, but the best thing those two could do would be to start communicating, you know, because they're, maybe just stunted in maturity, maybe a little bit to hold on to this grudge when they both are fighting the same monster, and they love it that they're divided. It would be so cool if they could somehow, communicate and understand that they're both huge victims of this, you know? And I think Steven did like Brendan. I think Brendan liked Steven too. I think that's exactly how it all went down. It's why it worked out so well. For when I think of Steven, I think he seems like a guy that has a bit of empathy. He doesn't seem like he's a narcissist prick like some other family members. I don't have to say names. And Brendan too, he seemed like a sweet little goober, Then I think he would have liked hanging out with Uncle Stevie, because he was kind of like a big kid. Oh, geez. I'm looking at your comments here and why Pete or Barb doesn't want to talk about Bobby. I don't know. All I can say about Pete Dassey is I met him and he is fucking awesome. I don't, I was at a rally. I didn't sit there and try to make any, of course I try to read everybody, but he was just a really fucking nice man. I don't know. I don't think he's trying to hide anything, but I haven't done any research into Pete Dassey, so I won't say, but in my personal meeting, he was very, very nice. And I think he loves Brendan a lot. I think he's a damn good dad to Brendan, despite, the rest of, the family unit. I think he's solid. I like that about him. And he seems funny. I don't know. Carla, I'm not just reading yours, Avery, Unchanged. Okay, I know Brendan loves his whole family, including Steven. Oh my God, I know. Of course he does. He has no, yeah. It's never good for them to communicate. Yeah, I'm not big Nan's life. I get how the system works and the jails and the courts, but I also say fuck them because, if you can't speak honestly, it sucks that all their calls are recorded. And I don't know if I know that Kim and Steven just had the conversation and they can't. She said they can't record, or Steven said they can't record the calls where he's at or something. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably too late maybe for them to start talking, but it's to me it's just heartbreaking because like I said, they're both victims. If Bobby would speak to KZ. They can't talk together. Oh, okay. Really? I never knew that. Brendan's lawyers. Yeah. Okay, I'm a little, every time I tap on this, like my message goes away, so I'm sorry. Aw. It says if I recall, I think Corey Avery's favorite uncle was Uncle Steven. He kind of looked, I thought he looked a lot like Steven. Corey did from his pictures. Bobby, you understand, Bobby never visited Steven in prison. Yeah, I don't know why. I can't comment. I really don't know. Avery Unchained says, Carla and Barb are just there to confuse. Just reading it, I don't, well, I'm confused by Carla and Barb, but I don't know if they're just there for that. I just feel confused by them. I wish they would talk to me, of course. I think that, well, I was hoping by this time to have a nice, safe, solid place for them to talk to me at, but I don't even know if I'd recommend them coming forward to me right now. I'm working on that. Probably never visit. Get back to that. I'm not overlooking you guys. I've gone backwards. So Pete is amazing. Got you. Brendan's family divided supporters. Yeah. The Moose. I don't know who that is. Is that Pete? Becca Chu, I agree. And that's something that I'm working on too in my own, on my end. And what Becca says, certain angry supporters divide the community more than anyone. And you're right. Yeah. And I have been one of those, I admit, you know, I have some stuff to be accountable for too. And many times I've lost my shit, and sadly on a few people. It helps me to forgive people. That helps. I mean, a lot of people have really kind of gone off on me too, but I'm forgiving because I know this is very, very stressful on all of us, I believe. So, but yeah, we have to learn to communicate. Pete Dassey just shrugs and says nothing of any consequence about anything. I need to be more like Pete Dassey. All communication is monitored, no Billy. And Ronald, so true. What did Ronald say? I gotta find Bobby needs to go to KZ. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Bobby needs to go, but that's what I don't understand about Barb is that I want Barb to call me a fucking, I don't know, cheese ball, but I guess I want Barb to save the fucking day. You know, I want her to I think Barb maybe knows some stuff. I don't know if she knows it all, but I want her to save her boys or, you know, do what's right. So, and I want her to have a voice. If it's not for me, that's fine. But for whoever can give her a voice and a loud voice. Yeah, okay. Okay, all communication is monitored. Okay, is that through the family? I think you mean Millbilly, the gatekeepers or something. You know, what I'm trying to say in my other videos is that I understand that people are friends. I get it. I do get it, but I'll tell you what, if I found out that, oh my God, if I found out that Kim Ducat was, like wanting to hurt Steven or wasn't in this for the right reason or was keeping a secret that could lead to their, exoneration, oh my God, I'd drop her like a fucking hot potato. I really would. I do love her too, and I get it. She's, it's a little bit different. She isn't, the mother of Brendan, but I demand the truth and honesty. And there was a Redditor or Twitter. Her name was Yard Dog. Anyway, she took a lot of stuff too, and I really got down on her. As a matter of fact, I blew up at her. And it was because I really liked her a lot. She was a smart, amazing researcher, and she was a good person, very good-hearted person, which is very important to me. And I went nuts on her in the very last because she was saying that, I understand where she's coming from. She's, blaming a lot of it, or blaming Brendan, saying if it weren't for Brendan, Steven wouldn't be there. And I get that. I understand that fact, but I can't blame Brendan. I'm sorry, I can't. I feel like he was absolutely targeted. He's a child. In my eyes, he's still a child. He's always going to be a child to me. So I'm protective of him. And especially, I mean, we all have our opinions about Barb, and people can say, that she's a terrible mom. Well, that's not Brendan's fault. He was a sweet, very innocent little boy, and he deserves to be set free. Okay. Do not make Brendan and Steven case one. Choose a side, basically. Oh, okay, Nan's life. She says, I can tell you as a fact experience, the lawyers gave us direct conversation. Do not make Brendan and Steven's case one. Choose a side, basically. I don't even know what to say about that. It works out well for them, is what I say. Oh, really, Mary? Mary says she doesn't think two different inmates at different facilities are allowed to communicate. I didn't know. Okay. Pete stole Steven's wife, not a loyal friend. Probably he also could be the father of Bobby. He also could be the father of Bobby. I thought he was the father of Bobby. Isn't Pete the father? Huh? Pete stole Steven's wife, not a loyal friend. Probably he also could be the father of her. Oh, got you. Got you. Okay, yeah. Well, I don't know. I have to say I don't really I don't really do much social media, much of anything, so I don't know if Pete talks on behalf of Bobby. I don't know if he's stood up and said, but my other son is innocent too. And I'm only that far in the chat, so maybe the answer's already been answered down there, but I'm kind of here. Okay, Millbilly and recorded. I think you're talking about the family Millbilly, and I'm still at 622, and you guys are down at 629, so I'll get there. Okay, Pete didn't steal Steven's wife. Okay. KZ wants to protect anyone that's innocent, but will expose the guilty. I don't have the biggest hope for Zellner, and that's just my opinion. I mean, I'm not going to go all down on her because I don't really know, and that pisses me off too, but I'm trying to give her the benefit, but it's kind of weird. Things are weird. Okay, Steve and Lori were divorced, then Pete and Lori got together. No one stole another human. Okay. And I get it that seems so weird to everybody. I totally get it. All I can say is, what I wanted to say is, if you people do come to this rally, we need to I want to do like a field trip. Like I say, we like literally convoy or caravan, and let me take you to some places. Okay, plan on spending a couple days. Seriously, let's get you we got to take you out to one of the bars, or out for a freaking fish boil or something. You'll see. Let us take you out to the races. Okay, seriously. It is a interesting area, and everybody, I mean, it's the old cliche, everybody is related, and I know way too well because I've done so much research, and it's just how it is. So I don't know how bad that is. That Lori and Pete, I don't know, they're still together. So I guess I just wish that Steven's kids would, I don't even know if they don't, to be honest with you. I guess the last that I looked into it, that they didn't really have a lot of communication. I hope they do. Becca, why aren't Brendan and Steven legally allowed to talk? Mazzy says, Becca, why aren't Brendan and Steven? You are answering this already. The best childhood friend of the history. Pete Dassey the Moose, they are incarcerated for the same victim, yes. Barb's not a bad guy in this. Interview her, Becca. Come on, man. Get her to talk. You have no idea how I feel about Barb. I know people might think I'm against her, but I got Barb if she's ready, you know. Brendan in prison, Bobby in the woods hunting. Well, I don't know what he was hunting, but we'll see. We don't know for a fact that Bobby hasn't spoken to KZ. I pray he has, but sometimes things can be said to an entire public when you are dealing with what they are. It could be dangerous. I don't think he's talking. I listened to his DCI report, and he's full of shit in that thing. He also doesn't have a care in the world. He isn't afraid at all because he knows he's covered. I don't think everybody is in on the frame job. I don't think it, I think certain people are. And like I said, I don't even know if Bobby and Scott know what happened in the end. I think they did some things to help things move along and didn't really know what they were helping with, maybe. Just saying, this is my opinion. Yeah, hunting's a big deal around here. It's not my deal, but yeah, you would be hard pressed to find somebody that doesn't hunt. Or yeah. Kim was a CI for yeah. Well, so that's interesting that comes up because no, she wasn't, and we've already done. That was interesting. Well, when it came up, I of course said to her, we talked about it right away, and she says she absolutely never talked to anyone there. And what they were trying to say she was the confidential informant about is because she said the smelter was running. And she said you're barking up the wrong tree because she thought Chuck from day one because she knows about Chuck. Kim did say the smelter was going, and I think it was on that piece of paper where she said that, or was it that she said, yeah, I think it wasn't it that she called and said that the smelter was working. Something like that. She says she never called, but she does swear the smelter was working, as does Jim Tyrell. They said they were both there days before and the smelter was running. So I believe them over anyone. And Kim is not a confidential informant. They did that. That's the same reason that I feel like Zellner won't even talk to Kim, because she knows Kim isn't going to fuck around. Kim doesn't play games. So I would appreciate it. You can get a hold of her. I wish you would. She'd probably love to talk about it. She kind of laughs about it now, because I heard that people also think she wrote the Sikiki letter. So anyway, she's not, and that kind of puts her in danger for people to think that. And it was a really fucking shitty move of MTSO to do that. So, but everything is done to mock you. Wait a minute. Are you guys all saying that Kim was a confidential informant? Okay, I'm just getting there. She wasn't a confidential informant. We know the whole thing. I don't know where the paperwork is. And right where they were supposed to redact it, they just accidentally left it too light to see. I think they did that absolutely intentionally, because she won't work with them, and she knows goddamn well that they framed him. And it worked out exactly how they wanted it, right? Because still, how many years later, people are still thinking that Kim Ducat is a confidential informant. Premeditated by state to frame Stephen Y. We don't know what's behind the scenes. Money was the least reason. I think it was planned out in 2003 for sure by then. You're talking about jail facilities. They monitor and record all communication. Okay. Are you talking about Kim? Did I miss something? Zellner is all Steven Scott. No, she isn't. We're all Steven Scott. We're all with Zellner what Steven Scott. Okay? And if she isn't doing what he needs done, you know. Okay, I must have lost here. Oh. Rallies. You're going to the rallies, okay. The Avery and Dassey family wasn't directly involved. However, law enforcement was able to commit some. Yes, they were. I know Scott Taddick was involved, you guys. I know. I don't care. I know. So whatever. And I believe that they had to do whatever was expected them to do. I mean, if they want to frame someone, how do you get out of it? What do you get to say? No, thank you. What was Scott supposed to say? No, thank you. I think he sat in jail. And while he was in jail, like it happens in the Manitowoc County and Calumet County jails, they scare the shit out of you and they get you to do what you want. How else did Scott's record get wiped clean? You know, he had a felony from shooting a shotgun in the city that you can't even find. How did that happen? How did Chuck's record just, you could barely even find that he was a rapist, huh? And doesn't anybody think it's a little bit strange that neither of those fuckers are have come up as sex offenders? I mean, have you ever looked up how many sex offenders are in Manitowoc? It is, I mean, the statistic, I don't even know if it can possibly be. And so many of them are, and a lot, everything with the pictures that we're looking at, and just there's a lot of pedophilia out here. It's very disturbing. So, I don't know. Well, I don't know how directly they were involved. I don't know. Nobody's talking. It'd be a good time for them to talk. Do you think anyone wants to go to Wisconsin? Not me. Well, I get it. I sure get it. We talked. I know how you feel, Courtney, and I understand. Akachoo. Bobby's phone was monitored and pinged in the places, plus Anna, Tom, Kevin testimonies. It's plain to see Barb is a fucking liar. I like the way you say fuck. I can't understand how people still loves her, adores her, protects her. I have a love-hate with her. I won't say much, but you know, I don't know. Barb can't talk till her son is out. She tried talking before and people turned everything she said and did into negativity. So why should she speak? I agree. Yep. No, Billy. Totally started with Peg Lautenschlager. And now, well, I think you're from Milwaukee. So you would remember when Peg Lautenschlager was the Attorney General. And it was kind of a weird time, I thought, because it didn't seem all that common to have a woman attorney general. You know, it was a big deal for me because I was a woman and, you know, it was pretty cool. But she was kind of a bitch. And then when she got that drunk driving, and then she, her husband is a Nina cop, and I think he was involved in the Eagle Nation shootout thing too, or somehow involved with the Nina police. But I think that what happened, because I sat and read through all of the depositions about a couple months ago, and the way that it seemed to me was that when they went in and when Peg Lautenschlager came in and did her investigation, I think the DOJ came in, and I do believe, well, God, I could be totally wrong, but here's my one theory. How about that? I think that Bergner and Jadowski and Conrad and those guys, I think that they did tell DOJ that. I don't think they came right out and said it was Tom Kucerik, but I think it pointed to Tom Kucerik because there was a rift with these police and sheriff out here. I mean, it's hard to explain, but if you read the old articles, you can see it too. It was weird. Something was really weird. So I just I feel like they were honest, kind of honest with DOJ. Then DOJ went back to Peg, and Peg was not gonna let this ruin her legacy. I don't think she gave a shit what happened out there. They just needed to fucking fix it. That's all. I don't. They, like I said, she was never gonna allow it to stand on her watch. So then Kusurik basically and Vogel basically get away with it, right? Nothing's done. And they're all still sitting there going, holy shit. Then Steven's lawyers come in and then they do their depositions. And by then they're already fucked by DOJ. They already said, Kusurik, Vogel, because everybody knows Kusurik, but they were already screwed by DOJ. Now they got to go back to their jobs and nothing was ever done about it. So they're in more danger than they've ever been. What's the point, right? That's the way I feel about it. And it was all about the sheriff is the general of the county, and it's all about protecting him. No questions asked, chain of command. That's it. And if you don't obey, you're done. You're gone. That's it. That's what they do. RAV4 and Bobby's Blazer together. It's all connected. Yes. She told Two Rivers police about the smelter. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but how? And I say that to her too. She says, I didn't though. But, whether she did or not, I don't understand. She wasn't telling them about the smelter. Kim never thought Steven did it. Are you crazy? Kim's the one standing up going, Chuck raped me when I was 11. She told Dean Strang and his investigator, Chuck raped her when she was 11. She told him immediately, you're looking at the wrong guy. I'd look at Chuck. And Strang thought it was Chuck too. So I get it, and I know that. And Kim says she did not talk to them there. So I don't know. But the smelter wasn't doing anything to harm Steven. And that whole smelter thing is so fucked up because they brought in that Rob Pevito, or however you say it, who's a fire specialist. The fucking smelter was working. And I will believe two locals over the, FBI or whoever the fuck they brought in, because I know they're corrupt. Becca Chu, that's true in Ann's life. No matter what she does, people twist it. I'm reading what you guys are writing about Barb, a lot about Barb, and I don't really, I'd like to interview Barb. I know it won't happen, but yeah. God save the Queen. MTSO is the ones who labeled her as yeah, I'm sure they did. Well, Kim Duca deserves respect. She's got respect. She's a strong lady. If Barb doesn't talk, Brendan will never be free. I agree. But Barb has been attacked too much, like a lot of people, and you can only take so many kicks, and she really doesn't have a safe platform. She does not have a safe platform, and she's smart enough to know that. And she, it isn't as easy as people think. Who's she going to go to? Seriously, who's she going to go to? She can't go to Manitowoc County, can't go to Calumet, can't come to any of us because she can't trust anyone. I mean, maybe you, Becca Chu, and that's cool. Do what you can do, but right then you'll put it out and everybody will be like, oh, that blah, blah, blah. So I guess it's got to be in her heart to do it, and it's got to come from her heart. And, if it can't, I don't know. But she isn't being honest. She is not being honest about Ramlo, and I know that. So she's got to know she's got to know something, Becca. I'm sorry. She has to. There's no way she can't. Absolutely. Especially not now. We're sitting here, we're living and breathing this case. Don't even tell me that she hasn't solved it, because I'm going to say she's really been slacking then, Actually, every single one of them needs to give me the answers. Nan's Life says, we are saying it is documented that she was a confidential informant. Most of us realize law enforcement twisted it, but it's there on documents. I hear what you're saying, and I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't think she was a confidential informant. I think that they intentionally, if she were truly did you notice anybody else's names come through redaction? Because I've been reading redacted files for fucking years now, and I can't read one name through. So why did her name slip through? I mean, come on, you guys have to know these police. Could it be because she's the one on Making a Murderer talking the way she's talking? Come on. And you know she didn't play any games in the beginning. She's never fucking played a game. And I can tell you what she'd have said to them if they tried playing the game. And we do have it sounds like, Strang was pretty, I don't know. He wrote Kim a really nice letter after we went and met with him, and he had a lot of respect for her. So, we know that Kim's working with Steven. So that's all we know. Are you drunk, Becca? Oh, are ya? If Barb doesn't talk, Brenda will. Oh, we're back. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Josh Call. And the Lautenschlagers are from Calumet County. Josh Call is, I believe, around here too. Is it New Holstein, Valder, or something like that? I don't know. And did you also, wasn't it too that Josh Call didn't even say he was Peg Lautenschlager's son during the election? Kim speaks so highly of Steven. She really genuinely loves him, and she doesn't, she isn't sitting here acting like he was an angel all the time and he didn't, he wasn't a stupid asshole at times. Not at all. She's very, very real about him. And that's one of the reasons I immediately, liked her, because I asked her too about Brendan, and the first thing she said was, I didn't really, I wasn't close to him. I didn't know him well. But if he had all that stuff on his computer, he needs to be in jail. So she isn't trying to protect anyone. She's, she wants the truth too. Mary's saying, has anyone ever contacted Debbie, the one trying to date him after his arrest from jail? Wasn't it that was actually the woman who did a lot of the legwork to get Zellner to take the case? I'm not really sure. Okay. I hope Brendan gets free. Maybe, I'm sorry, but the whole fucking family would be free if they had a safe place to come forward and tell what went on there, because they know. And I'm sorry to say it, but I do absolutely feel like Scott was working with law enforcement. So, yep, that sucks for Barb. I don't know how to navigate that, but that is how I feel. So Barb is gonna, she needs to wake up or something. Don't anybody insult anyone, please. I see that, Becca True. Okay. Tammy Lee, Stephen would have been granted at least an evidentiary hearing if it weren't for the high profile Making a Murderer elevated the case to. Wisconsin does not want that can of worms open. Yeah, they don't want that can of worms open, because I'm telling you, we got pictures of them all dancing naked in 1980. It's all of them, and you're going to see. And it's so out of control. Everything is so controlled. It's ridiculous. So, yep. And Wisconsin, it means everything to them because their ego is that big. You all have seen it. It's exactly as it is. And they said, take care of it. And they forgot that these guys are morons, these cops out here. You're right, Barb, or Nan's Life. Barb doesn't owe us anything. She doesn't. Yeah. What do you think, Millbilly? What I think don't mean squat. I don't know what that means, but okay. Back at you, I know you care about Barb, and I do honor and respect that. You need to honor and respect that. I kind of don't, and it's not personal. It's I have such a hot cold with Barb because I don't want to believe she knows anything, but there is absolutely no way she can't know anything. So yeah, I don't know. Barb Taddick for president. Oh, well, I don't know about that. Yeah, we got to quit bashing, but I don't know how to stop it. I'm guilty, I guess, too. Hey, Corey. Why are you asking if we would vote for Barb? Is this really happening? Yeah, the hate divides the community, but Becca, I also have a picture of Barb flipping me off at her son's rally. So everybody's got to be accountable here. You know what I mean? And yeah, Kanye. Okay. I can't believe I've had to like resort to doing live streams and people are actually talking about Kim Kardashian and Barb for president. Come on. Come on, Avery and Jake. Okay. Okay, okay, you guys can have your conversation. I'm not going to just read it all and I'm happy with it. But I do like this. Avery Unchained says, why Kevin Ramlow was disrespected by Barb and Scott. I don't know. That's the thing. You see, that's right there. No, they did know Kevin Ramlow. They had to have, and I know they did. So what's going on? Why are they acting like that? Because Scott didn't answer the text saying that he had seen the Rav down at the turnaround at 147. I mean, that's pretty suspicious right there. Why not? And one thing not to answer it, but he sat right there and told was it Jeff Wish, Special Agent DCI Jeff Wish, that Ramlo was a stranger. He didn't know him, that he was just looking for attention. He said it a few times, and then Barb mentioned it too, that she, just a kook, right? So that's really, that's exactly how that goes. Yes, the Rav was at the turnaround, I believe. Yeah. Nan's Life is saying she's really aware that the state is liars, deceivers. Oh, and I'm sure it's not just our state. We're just hyper focused on it. And one of the things I recommend to everybody is turn off your fucking TV and start looking into your own area. It's really great that we have all these researchers looking into this case, but we sure as shit wouldn't need them if the people in this community would rise. And I feel pretty guilty myself because a lot of stuff about Lori Deppies is coming up now, and I'm like, fuck, that's in my neighborhood right here, that. So I'm not much of a social media person, but I am trying to get connected with people in Appleton because we can solve this one too. And we already know that Chuck was a suspect in it, so of course it's even more interesting. Yeah, it was kept secret that Call was Peg's son. Isn't that something? I mean, how does that, can you even believe it? And that's just about it. We just keep playing this stupid game. Yeah. Why nobody cares about the witnesses. Not sure what you mean, Avery Unchained. What witnesses? I, for one, do not believe anything written on documents. Yeah, it's so, like we kept, doing the map of the turnaround, and we drive out there, and we do have it mapped out to take Q to Fisherville, because Earl lives on Fisherville. But if you take Q to Fisherville and then you take a left on, oh shit, Anna would know. I don't know if it goes right to Ridge Road, but I think it's bypasses Jambo, and then I think you come out at Ridge Road, which if you go straight, or you're right at the turnaround. So we have mapped out quite a few different things with the RAV at the turnaround. So no doubt in my mind. And yeah. Let's talk about Bobby and the bearded man pushing their RAV4. Okay, let's talk about it. What do you got? I have somebody that I really, really trust around here, and she says she knows Sawinski, and he's a good guy, that she doesn't have any reason to not believe him. I've read his statement and stuff. The only questions I have that make me a little bit suspicious, I don't know why anybody would lie. I don't get that. I don't know why anybody would make a statement like that if it wasn't true. That would just be silly. But maybe I don't understand why Bobby wouldn't have had a shirt on at that time. I know that there was a post out there a while ago. People said that you could, when they did the flyover, you could actually see the tire prints. And Anna and I just went out there and I took a picture of it. When you go down Avery Road, there is a big ditch and it's like there's almost a berm. So I don't know how long it's been like that. I don't know if it's always, I think it was, obviously it's probably been built up a little, but for him to have gone, well, I feel like if he would have, the right side of his car would have been off the road and very slanted for him. But I have no reason to say he's lying. I don't know. Yes, if that's what a witness saw, I guess that's what he saw. I don't know why. To me, it doesn't make any sense that it would still be there. I think it was taken off at 3:45 is what I believe. And Becca, yes, Becca is a loyal Barb soldier. I know, but that's okay. And you know what? I wish you, Becca loves Barb. She's a friend of hers. So, she's obviously on this chat, so she's not trying to hide that fact. And I don't know why she needs to defend it. But I also, hope that she can be open-minded and use some discernment with new information coming up, because I don't care how much anybody likes anybody. I'm going with the facts and the truth. Shirley, Barb, and Bobby owe it to Brendan and Steven to talk to Casey. I think Barb has one partner and one main person supporting her. And I think that's why, to be honest with you, that's why she won't go to Casey. Because, okay, I think it's Scott. I do. And if Bobby's involved, I do think Bobby's involved, but I think he was forced to do whatever they asked him to do. And whether he had a choice or not, I don't know. Whether he is a part of murdering Teresa, we have no evidence that Teresa's dead, but if he's part of it, I don't know. But he is absolutely part of moving that rap, I believe. Anna saw Bobby and Chuck at the turnaround And yes, I believe it was Bobby and Chuck at the turnaround. I don't know what would cause them to have let anybody see them there. I don't know if because I know that the turnaround used to have a big willow tree and it wasn't the easiest place to see people, and maybe they thought people would just think they were hunting. But I don't think I don't think they're dumb enough to take Teresa's car and park it down at 147 when they know that when Andy Colburn or any of the cops are going to come question him, they're going to have to drive right by it. And Andy Colburn drove right by it when he went to Stevens that night, when he left Stevens that night. So worked out quite well. And I don't think that the Rav at the salvage yard or the Rav at the turnaround is the real Rav. And my thoughts on that are that I think they put the Rav at the turnaround so people would see it while they planted the Rav at the salvage yard. And I feel like if they would have put Teresa's car at 147, I mean, what if her mom would have driven by or whatever, unless they're in on it. I don't know yet. But if a friend would have driven by going, oh my God, that's Teresa's car, that's Teresa's car. They didn't want to use Teresa's car. We know that because the car would have been fucking full of her DNA. It wasn't her car. It was, and then Anna and another person I met out there said they then, after they saw it at the turnaround, then they saw it at this warehouse kind of house across the street. And then Anna says she leaned on it in 2010. I just don't think that Rav was anything but a decoy. I could be wrong. This is my opinion only. I don't know. What are you drinking? Oh, it's actually filtered water in a kombucha bottle. I like the glass bottle, but it was really good though. I think you get it at Aldi even. You see that? It was very good. I'm sorry. Okay. KZ deserves to know what happened. Hey, tell her to call us. Like, it looks like, I mean, yeah, okay. Okay. Tammy Lee says it seems Barb sacrificed one son for the other. I think she sacrificed both their sons for Scott. Do you think it's possible that it wasn't Bobby and it was mistaken identity? Mistaken identity is one of the leading causes of wrongful convictions. No. I think like in Steven's letter, him saying that Bobby would have been keeping an eye on her, and he would have. We read his chat messages and how he treated those young girls he was talking to. He was a little fucking pig. And like I said, come on, we all know 17, 18-year-old kids. If that woman walked onto that salvage yard with all those fucking horny assholes living out there, they would have noticed her. He would have absolutely noticed her and been, of course, no way. And I feel like I read it somewhere that Steven he would joke with them and say, oh, your girlfriend's here again and stuff, right? Isn't that what you say when you're the one that likes her? Anyway, I really don't think Bobby, being that age and that young lady came to the yard and he's getting in the shower. Sorry, no fucking way. He probably fucking spanked it to her while she was standing out there, to be honest. Just saying, he said it right to DCI. Barb too, you got boys, that stuff's gonna happen out there. They're gonna watch porn. But it was Tom Yanda's porn. I personally think that Scott had access to that computer as much as Bobby, and I know that Scott was working with Andy Colburn, so why wouldn't he have been over there for a few, however long before the frame job went on and start tapping in and hitting on dead women and shit like that? Why wouldn't he? I mean, obviously Scott was staying there. And it just makes sense to me that he would be. I mean, Barb's on first shift, he's on third shift. Don't you think I think he was there. And then for Barb also to say that it was probably Tom Yanda that was, he was the guy watching porn. Hey, and I'm not sticking up for that guy either because I don't know much about him, but wasn't he at the fire the night that the cat was thrown? Because I know the whole cat throwing story, of course it's horrible and no, it's not forgiven and, whatever, but everybody that was there that night deserves to get as much shit as the fucking idiot that threw it in the fire. I don't care who threw it in the fire. Everybody there, and I think Tom Yanda was there. So, but out here with hunting and stuff like that, it's a whole different world, like maybe, I don't know. It's not right. No. Personally, had I been there, oh, like most of us, they would have been in the fire, not the cat. I mean, I'm traumatized even fucking thinking of that poor cat, even having gasoline on it, let alone throwing it in. So anyway, right? And I know Steven didn't do it, but anyway. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, you guys are talking. Okay, look into DA for Bambi case. So okay, what DA? Donahoe, McCann, Eisenberg. She had a lot of them. It wasn't Gone somehow involved in it, I think. Begachu, they would probably realize Bobby was mistaken if they checked on other possibilities, but nope, it's easier to say Bobby did it. You know what? Bobby and Scott, this whole deer thing too, this stuff doesn't add up because it didn't go in the way it should have gone. And I even looked into it out here that I think Bobby said, or Barb says she found that someone hit a deer. Bobby says that he got the deer and then the next day went down and got the tag. Barb says, no, we got the tag that night. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, you don't take a deer off a fucking road without a tag. I don't give a shit if you hit it or not. You got to have the tag. You can't even shoot a deer and not, it has to be exposed, hanging out of your car so the world can see it. It's really weird. So that doesn't add up for me. And I know, too, that there's weird stuff around that whole deer. So there was something, whether they were poaching them, whether they were, no, I think they used the deer as a cover up for something, and I do. And I'm sorry if it's offensive to anybody. That is where I'm at with all of it. So do you think it's possible that it wasn't Bobby and it was mistaken? Stop. Okay, protected. Come on, you. Oh boy. Okay. Yep, there's a lot of different directions. And every day it changes too, Every day you kind of have to go, shit, that could be, you know. Why did Bobby decide to be star witness for the prosecution, knowing what it meant for Brendan and Steven? I don't think he had a choice. I think that the same way that they interrogated Brendan, they do to everyone. I think it's total manipulation. Anytime they're talking to you, all they want to do is manipulate you and get you to do what they want. And all they would have to do with any one of them. I mean, you sure wouldn't want this coming back on you, Bobby, right? Right? Because it could. They know that there were people on the scene that were more likely the killers than Steven. because they were overlooking it. So, and Bobby was protected. He is protected right now. I'm convinced Sawinski did see what he described. I believe he's mistaken for identity. I'm convinced. Okay, so you're saying he saw it, but he has a mistaken identity. I'm not sure what you mean. I could give you a photo of someone that is same age, height, and weight, and similar in appearance, but here you are still pointing to Bobby. Oh. Well, Bobby's involved. I'm not going to say that Bobby's the mastermind. Everybody knows that. He sure as shit wasn't, but he had a part to play. And I think Scott probably was the big reason that Bobby played a part too, because he's a prick. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Mazzy. You say thanks for allowing this chat without gatekeepers stopping the conversation. It's funny because I was hoping to have someone come on and help me, but I don't think something went wrong. I don't know where she is, but anyway, that's okay. Hey, Dave Bagatka. Good to see you. Got any thoughts on the letter, Dave? Oh, Kim, there you are. Hi, Kim. I was looking for you. Did you think we were doing it on Facebook? Probably, because that's the last time I talked to you. I was going to be doing it on Facebook and I canceled. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. I was hoping for some questions here. I don't know. I'm not going to get involved in your Barb stuff, I guess, or your guys' conversation. Corey, sounds to me like they conspired to murder and help set Steven up for that murder, although I do disagree with Steven on who actually killed Teresa. It's hard for me because what I've learned about the cops framing people and the disgusting corruption out here and the horrific way that women have been raped, tortured, missing in the area. I don't know. I believe, of course, that they're involved, but I don't know that she's dead. I really don't. I know one thing: when Mike Glazer signs his name on something official, it don't mean shit to me because he's a dirty little brother that he's their ass boy. When they need it done, they're going to get Mikey Glazer because they're all working together. And they're going to keep each other safe for sure. And that's exactly why they didn't bring Kakash on, because the woman had a conscience. Okay. Sounds like club activity. Where is Lori Deppie? Is what I want to know too. And I drove by her house. I'm looking into some research on her too, because I don't know. There's too many missing women, and she looks way too much like Teresa. And she was a spunky little one too that deserves justice, And I don't know. There's never been anything of her found either. I'm a little embarrassed that, when Lori went missing, it was a big deal to me and my family. We were very, very concerned, and we looked for her, not like we did a big search party, but she's never left my heart. Her mother, I don't know if she still lives there, lives down the road. I go by the place on Wilson quite a bit just because, I keep feeling like if I might be able to find something over there. And I did find a little weird connection with an Avery over there, but I can't really put it together right now. And it's too odd that somebody mentioned Chuck being involved in this. So I have to follow that lead and we'll see where it goes. And I just want to help. So trying to get connected about Lori Deppies. And when I find maybe a Facebook page or something where people are connecting, I'll let you know because we need to help there too. Oh. It was hard to read his letter, but he did a good job. Yeah, probably the Masons, but they're, talking about the Freemasons too, it's like, the Averys really aren't like this Freemason material, not like the way the Freemasons carry themselves and want people to perceive them. But I do absolutely believe they're mafia or were in the very recent past. And I think that, like I tried to explain before, when you live in an area that's so corrupt by the police, you and your family almost kind of got to be like mafia. You got to have each other's backs because they will get you. They're going to get you if you don't watch yourself, Yep, way too many suspicious characters. Yeah. I don't know yes, Brendan. I can't even watch again the Brendan interrogation with O'Kelly. I mean, can you guys? It's just absolutely. Oh my God, I can literally feel how that kid is feeling. And I can't say I wouldn't have done the same thing. Maybe I'm a little more stubborn. I was forced to not leave the table when I was a kid because I wouldn't drink this what I thought was disgusting fresh milk, fresh like from a cow, and I was like bullshit. And I couldn't leave the table till I did it. And I actually did leave the table without ever having to fucking do it. And I'll tell you what, I still don't drink milk. But I was going to sit there and well, that's a bad example, I guess. But I guess with Brendan, how about being in school when your teacher's accusing you of cheating or something that you didn't do? You could just feel he just wanted it to end. And his day doesn't, what does he know about interrogations and living in a cage? He has no concept. It's not even still entering his head that what's happening. He still thinks he's going to get to go home. Even if especially if he draws what O'Kelly asked him to draw, he thinks he's going to get to go home sooner. So it's absolutely devastating. And here again, as I keep trying to say, is unless people show up and stand up, it's never going to stop. They don't give a shit what you think behind a computer. So it would be great. It should happen that he needs to get out. I'm about, I don't know, probably 25 minutes from him. Maybe Squaw Lake. Yeah, we heard some talk about some crazy stuff maybe going on up at Crivets too. The club that we don't really have a name for. It's so funny because it sucks to call them a club. A club is like, ooh, a glee club, a happy thing. These guys are fucking literal thugs. They're thugs. How about we call it the thug? Fuck. Kim Vest, I think Steven putting out his letter, he's dead right on it. I'm sorry, why would he name his whole family? Mom was his world. Wow, what happened there? Yep. He's hurt. He's devastated and destroyed, and he's, in a new and exciting, I think, relationship, and he wants his life to get going, and he's frustrated. And I think he's believing in Zellner, but it's still not going fast enough. Christ, look at us. We're all waiting, and he's the one sitting there. So, I think he just did what he needed to do, and why should it affect Zellner anyway? You know, she's saying Bobby. He's just saying it's all of them. Of course it's all of them. Of course Zellner knows that. It isn't like Zellner signed it too, saying, yeah, I'm pretty sure that Kayla's involved. You know, you have to read between the lines of what he's saying as well. And he has a right to accuse all those people. I think a lot of them do know some stuff. You know, and I think for the family too, what the fuck could they do? Even if somebody wanted to say, here's what went down, you know. I don't even think they'd take anybody else's confession, to be honest with you. They're not gonna let up on Steve. Maybe not until we get these pictures in their faces. Mhm. One must listen to understand audio is the key. I don't know, audio, I don't know what you mean. You're so cryptic, Billy. Um, I do think audio is the key, but I also don't. I'm pretty sure that I know there are gatekeepers at that county. And I know when I met with DCI and they told me, we're going to give you what we want. Doesn't matter what you ask for. And I just don't think that the way that they're going to be exposed or implicated in framing Steven is going to be given to us in a phone call. I mean, they are helpful, of course they are, because we're understanding that it's all connected, yes. But I don't think the phone call, the one phone call that I thought was the most important that came out was the one from the Outagamie County coroner, Glazier, and it was he called down to Calumet County, and the dispatcher said he was looking for Mike Glazer. Mike Glazer was at the salvage yard, and this coroner said, I needed to tell him that we accidentally burned a body without the death certificate. And he was seeming pretty concerned about it. And I don't know what more went on with it. And I don't really, I don't really have anybody to help me with it so I don't, to me, that one seemed really important also just the name Glazier. And I think a lot of people, when they heard it, they thought he said Glazier, but there's an Eric Glazier who did the investigation in the Ricky case. And I actually think he knew what the heck he was talking about. He didn't seem like he was trying to cover it up. He asked all the right questions about Luke Kramer. It was Bushman that came in and, smoothed over all the questions. I think he actually answered them. But this Glazier guy seemed like he was doing his job. So, Bobby is protected by the Masons. I don't know how to label it, like I said, he's protected. They it's through these secrets and favors. It doesn't I don't know how to explain it. I guess you'll just have to figure that out. It's not like they're wearing, they have a secret handshake or something like that. Well, I don't know. Like I say, if they want you to be in their club and you say no, they're going to make you need a favor. And they're going to keep trying. And you remember with Dave Bagaka, that one guy came in and he seemed almost frantic. You got to join the fucking club. Like he had a job to go in there and get Dave to join that fucking club, right? And I totally believe that Marianne Denny was killed for the club. Absolutely. Totally. If it killed to talk to her family. Yep, Squaw Lake. Yep. Yep, the background chatter. Yep, I agree. It's all good for sure. All the audio. There is a Squaw Lake up. It's a little. Is it in? Is it in? There is one up near Crivets. Is it in Crivets? We have heard some. I'm not gonna say what I think my buddies here are talking about with Squaw Lake right now. It's a long story. But anyway, we know that we don't trust Chuck in case you haven't come to that part yet. And we just think that things are going to come out about Chuck. We deeply distrust Chuck. I got lost here, sorry. Tammy Lee says Bobby's brother started under oath that Bobby told him he saw Teresa leave the Avery property. That fact went unchallenged. Seems to me that was Steven's get out of jail card. There have been so many get out of jail cards that just haven't been, put into the lock, I guess, because there's a lot of things that are interesting that he hasn't gotten out over. And nobody takes 3-minute showers. Nobody. I mean, I could try to right now, but I don't really see how it could happen. And I really don't. I don't think that Bobby was that alert to exactly his. He doesn't have all the times right, but he knows it was exactly 3 minutes he was in that shower. It's bullshit. He said what he needed to say. That was it. And I don't think he was happy that it came down on Brendan. Of course not. And I got a guy out here I'm talking to that I can't say who he is, and he swears that Bobby's tried to kill himself a couple times. And he's saying it was Bobby who tried to hang himself off a bridge. I don't remember when. He says it doesn't come up on the paper as that, but he's saying it was. And it was apparently on the day that Brendan was sentenced. So, I mean, I get it. But that also, if Bobby's out there feeling so heartbroken that Brendan is put in jail for something he did, that really isn't the mind of a psychopathic murder, rapist, killer, So, he wouldn't really have any compassion for Brendan if he was capable of doing that to Teresa. Again, sounds like Scott. I think Scott's a big, big part of this, and I do think he would have influence over Bobby. In the DCI interview with Bobby, he says in it, they ask him how he felt about Scott, and he said, better now. And they said, why is that? Well, Scott didn't like kids. I'll bet he didn't. Odd. I'm sorry. I don't understand why Barb would even date a man that doesn't like kids. That's just unbelievable. And I don't know what brother, I'm sorry, I don't know, was it Blaine or was it Brian who said that Bobby said he saw Teresa leave. Yeah. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. How long was Teresa going to the salvage yard? How long was former auto trader photographer going out to the salvage yard? Has somebody answered that question below? Should I go see? Well, I do. I think I kind of know that answer, but I'll bet you someone's answered that down below. Oh, this 15 times, she says. Okay, so yeah, I'm really weird and behind on this chat, everybody. I'm sorry. I was just trying to get through it, but I'd really like to see what you're saying. Yeah. I'm sorry about this, you guys. I'm not so good at this. I know I got lost on this because I am interested in what you're saying and I'm listening and I'm trying to answer, but I got lost. Yeah. Okay. Satanist Dave says, will you be at the rallies? Will I be at the rallies? Okay. Tammy Lee says, yes, Brian stated that Bobby told him Teresa left. Probably. I don't really care who throws the rally. I've taken a lot of stuff every time I go because, I love to be able to scream my anger and feelings for Stephen and Brendan. Absolutely love it. And the top of my lungs, that I can be their voice even for that little bit of time. So I would love to go to the rally. I don't want any more drama. I don't want any more division. So I'm not going to go if I feel like there's going to be, if I feel like it isn't absolutely for these men, that I might decide to quit going to the rallies. I think I may have missed one, but I don't think so. I think I've been at them all, and I don't want to miss any. I want us to unite. So I'm hoping to be at the rally. I think we could. I think the problems with the rally they stem from the problems in the community that we can't unite, and then it makes us look like there really isn't any of us out here because people don't show up for the rallies. But I understand why they don't. But I think if we could really get everybody united and get something really solid going, where, who wants to show up and feel uncomfortable or feel like they're going to be confronted about an opinion they had on, Twitter. I don't know. We can't do that. So maybe. Yeah, David got caught Satanist. Yep, I don't know to all the depth, but it's something very sinister for sure. Barb's fan club. Okay, I will not be at the rally only because the price. Okay. You know I love you, Becca. I got you. Let's do it. Derping House. Is that the name of the DA? Okay. There's a lot of them. You won't be at the rally without a gun. Okay. Concealed open carry laws here. Just make sure it's not hidden, and you can bring that gun. And if you have a concealed carry license, you can bring that gun in your pocket. I recommend it. Corey says, I think they crushed the cars to look suspicious, something for Kathleen or some other lawyer to take a look at. I think they covered this murder up by creating Denny suspects along the way. I think that the same accusation they're putting on Stephen, that she never left the salvage yard, she was killed there, I think applies to the person that did it. It would be silly for them to take that woman off of it's literally a fucking compound. Why would you take her out to public to do anything to her? Unless they got her over to Scott's. I think that she might have gone to Scott's for that hustle shot. I don't trust that voicemail that it was for zippers. I don't know. But I will say this, that I had gotten a call from somebody that was that said that Jim Tyrell, that our buddy that we've done videos with, was on the Auto Trader list for August 8th. And on the slip, she had his name and his phone number correct, but she had him living off of 310 and shit. I don't know if she had Q or R. Well, Jim lives on B, and Jim lives a few houses down from Zipperer. So I don't know if it's relevant that maybe she didn't know where Zipperer's was, because she didn't have the right address for Jim. And when I talked to Jim about it, he said he didn't have any clue why he was on that list. And take it for what it's worth. Maybe he doesn't remember correctly. So we did go back and look into what he said. He thought on August 8th of 2005, he said he thought he was on a bracelet because he had faced some shit there, and he was on an ankle bracelet until he was sentenced. So I went in and looked into his records. Then yes, he was. And then mysteriously, which I think is interesting, is he on October 31st, 2005, that day they put him in jail. So I personally believe so he couldn't watch what was going on, because he would have been real uptight he would have known he fucking hates Colburn. So and all of them, he would have known what was going on in that neighborhood, and he spent a lot of time at the Avery. So just my thought. But anyway, like I said, she didn't have the right address down for Jim. I don't know what any of it means. We don't know why his name would have been on that list. Don't know. I've been at Jim's. I was just there a lot this last summer, and um, he had two boats out front for one fucking day, and they sold that day. And his buddy brought up a boat too. I mean, he's on a road. I don't know if it was like that back then, but he sure didn't need help selling anything because people were stopping. It was annoying, seriously. So, I don't know. He said he didn't. He said I never. Of course, I never met her. He didn't. He was like, I have no idea why I'd be on the list. So, but if she would have gone from Zippers to Avery, it is. I think it's. I don't know. Is it even 9 minutes? I don't know. I've kind of tracked it. It's B to 147. It's very fast. So she wouldn't have had to make too many turns. I don't know why she would have. I guess she could have gone the other way and then gone down Keel and then Fisherville. I don't know why she would have, but I don't know. It was Steven. That's something I was started to talk about earlier, and then I skipped over it. Is that we had to ask Steven again. I said to Kim, just we've got to know for certain. He knows for certain that she went left on 147, because we can only go by what he says, because we don't believe what the cops, anything they've said. So he said he's absolutely certain, because he explained what he was doing that day and why he even watched her go that far down. He was working on his own truck, he wasn't whatever. So she did go left. We know that. We know that one thing is true of all the statements that the police put down. Yeah, I don't know. Oh boy. I'm not gonna let this whole thing be about Barb. I'm sorry. How do you shame someone like Wiegert, who already took part in shameful things without a damn care in the world? They don't feel shame. These men are disposable. Just like when Anna's telling us about being an informant, she was shit on their shoe. If something would have happened to her during one of those exchanges, she would just be gone. She'd be gone. And I'm sure they'd have some kind of good story. These people don't. It's about power and land ownership. And, basically, when you're in a brotherhood or whatever you want to call it, of people that are dirty, rotten sons of bitches that can do what they want, and you just keep their secrets, what more do you need? Right? No shame. Mm-mm. Bobby told Brian he saw her leave. Yeah. I don't know. When I watch the Making a Murder, I feel like nobody really knows what the fuck is going on. It didn't seem to me like they did, but I guess I'm pretty naive. I also thought, Chuck seemed like a nice guy when I met him. I don't know. Well, I think everybody's pretty good at acting, that's for sure. You know? Uh, what? Okay, I don't know what that's about, guys. I'm gonna let you go. Oh, I don't. Well, I'm not gonna say I wish Bobby killed himself. I don't. I don't know what to think of anyone. I want the truth. I don't want anybody else hurting, and I don't want anybody, you know. Yeah. Okay, Millbilly, you're gonna. I don't know what squirrel means, but whatever, dude. I guess the question would be, how on earth does anyone think that any of the family could speak honestly to a system that is so trumped up and determined Brenda and Steven are guilty. I agree. It is hard. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do here, is I'm not trying to attack anyone. I'm trying to unite and build a strong enough support for them to come forward. I know goddamn well why people aren't coming forward. So I guess I believed when I started in this case that I would start talking about my brother's stuff because I was naive, and it was silly of me because I wanted help. I wanted people's help to help me get my information out. I had the information, but I wanted help. But um, it's really hard when everybody has their own theories, and that's okay. We all do need to have our own theories. There's so much more of a game going on, and this is so much more about keeping us silent. It's a psychology, I believe, and it's working. So for the family as well. We know how much Mark Wiegert and Fassbender and all those assholes train to do their, Reed and Nelson technique, and we've seen how good they are at it. So, they're masters. They have one thing to do, and that's to make sure that Steven goes down for this. That's it. And they don't give a fuck about Brendan. And they probably did sit back and, well, they needed Brendan. We all saw it. They literally preyed on that young boy. So that's how sick and fucking dirty they are, And maybe they did say, hey, let's take Brendan because he's always going to, have a little bit of a disability. I don't know. Maybe Scott said, fuck Brendan. From what I've heard about Scott and the way I've heard him talk, I could probably bet a little bit of money on how he talked to Brendan and how he made reference to Brendan. And I would think too that Bobby probably wasn't the kindest to Brendan either, And I didn't even have siblings that were disabled and slow, and we weren't good to each other. But I can just imagine these people aren't very nice sometimes, Do you think Corey says he thinks KZ's pulling everybody's chain? The family loves KZ. I don't know. In fact, they pretend to hate her, but they don't want everybody to send their evidence to her, which is a red flag in my butt. I don't know. It sounds like Corey, you've talked to him. I've never talked to KZ, or I met Chuck. I talked to Barb. I gave Barb a hug actually at the rally once, and she did flip me off. I think it was kind of sweet. I think Kisser, my chick, says, I think Blaine's sighting of Bobby needs to be looked at more, and what he was driving and why he was driving it. Yep. Yeah, I think they must have. Well, was he driving Teresa's, or did he and Scott switch vehicles? Because something, it seems like, happened with those vehicles. And we know Scott was there that day. And Scott says he went to the hospital. I don't believe that either. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he did not. And I know when he went, he didn't stay that long either. So it's crazy, Scott. It's crazy. You know what? I just have to say that it's really crazy to be on this chat, and I'm happy that you're here, but I don't understand why there's an argument going on. I mean, I feel like I should just, I don't know, it's so bizarre. And we're all trying to get along. I just don't understand that we can't have this conversation instead of some of the stuff. Okay. I think Teresa, went to the salvage yard and she liked Steven. I mean, what's to be afraid of with Steven? I always joke that when he shows up, in court and he's holding Jody's hand, and he's got that leather jacket on that's like all color. He thinks he's all, I think he would have been a kind of a jokester, probably funny. I don't see why she would have, you know, I don't know. And he had Jody. I mean, haven't you guys ever been in love? You don't fucking think about some chick coming to take a picture. I mean, Jody said they were having sex 3 times a day. He didn't give a fuck about Teresa, you know? KZ has a lot of things to say that will make a lot of people shut up. I don't know what that means. Okay. Teresa went to Salvage Yard and Bobby like Teresa. I think so. I would think, well, I don't know how do you think if like Steven and Bobby were joking, oh, there's your girlfriend, oh, you like her. I'm pretty sure that shit wasn't going on in front of Jody. Just saying. I don't think either one of them would have been smart or would have been dumb enough to bring it that. Jody probably, no. Maybe Steven would say it to Bobby, but I certainly don't think that Bobby was making comments to Steven. Trust no one. Okay. Good advice. Guilt can cause suicidal thoughts. Yeah. And it's fucking overwhelming, and he's still a young kid just getting through life. I don't know. It's all disturbing. And, I would think that those boys had some resentment towards Barb. I'm sorry to say it, but, she was married a bunch of times, and that's really hard on kids. And, you know, Bobby said he thought Tom Yanda was a nice guy. And then she's with Scott, who doesn't even like kids. I'm sorry, a house full of teenage boys, that doesn't make them happy. I'm sorry, it doesn't. I'm pretty positive of that. So, you know. Teresa Halbach was also comfortable enough to actually roam through the salvage yard and take pictures of old cars. Yeah, I think so. And there was a time when Steven says he thought he saw a woman photographer taking pictures of him because he thought he was being watched. And that's my other theory, is that she's just working with the state and she's gone. What does that mean? Who wants to show up and feel ignored? Shame, shame, shame. Bobby was jealous. Probably. A lot happens in a broken home. Yeah, it looks like Becca Chu left, and that sucks. And that's this. I don't really know what to say. I just it makes me question a lot of things, but that's all right. Of course, I've had the pleasure of talking to Becca Chu, and I do like her. I think she's a good kid, very good, and I do believe she is an amazing supporter of Brendan. And I see the argument happening, and I get it, and they can have the argument. I didn't see that anything got that personal, because I don't think that Avery Unchained would, but maybe you did. I don't know. I hate this shit though. I mean, it's craziness that we can't work things out, especially. I mean, gosh, you don't even have to face each other. You can do it on here. Yeah, you almost have to be crazy to understand how fucked up this is. I know. Corey says, and clearly crushing a vehicle would remove no DNA or blood. So Well, it wouldn't, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think someone was saying it was Stacy Chase who made a comment at one point saying, I don't know why he made it. I don't even know if I'm right about this, but just the whole technique of crushing two cars and that's the perfect crime. I don't fucking know. I never had to think about it. So maybe, yep, the Chevy Blazer had Teresa's DNA. Probably could have. Is Bobby innocent? I don't know. I don't I think he's guilty of helping in some way. I think they all did a part to manifest this, and I don't know what their part was during. I don't know, but let's figure it out. I mean, some of you think you have it figured out, and I agree. There's so yeah. And Colburn's court case, Mazzy brings that up, and I think that's all again just to make it look like, obviously a guilty man wouldn't sue Netflix. Is there a difference between conversations we might not like and ignorant conversations to twist a narrative? It is important to listen to all sides. Yes, absolutely. And I'm not taking a side here. I'm really I'm I'm not very good at doing videos, and I see this conversation happening, and I don't want anybody to leave or have hurt feelings, but I can't focus so much on it. And I know Avery Unchained, and I know he's not an asshole, and I know that this, as with most things, it's a misunderstanding or it's a lack of good communication. So, let's try. I don't know. And I guess people don't have to like each other. I really don't want anyone bullied, and I do have a love and a respect for Becca, so I'm sorry. And for Avery Unchained, of course. Looking at Colburn is like looking at Kratz, a needle in the haystack when it comes to the guilty here and a large conspiracy. These guys are the fall guys who are meant to take the brunt of the guilt. Yeah, they're the chain of command. They're the lowest on the totem pole. And they're gonna do whatever it takes. I think it's suspicious that Colburn ran for sheriff. I just think that's really strange because that's a very big statement to be making to the sheriff that you want to run against him. That means that you don't think he's doing a good enough job, and you can do better, in my eyes. Unless it was a political move where they just needed someone to run against where they knew that they weren't going to win so they could win the election. That's But some records show she started heading back east after she got to 147. Now east, is that left out of the Avery salvage yard? I don't care what way she went out of the salvage yard. The RAV4 was at the turnaround. That's all I know. And I personally think it was put there to throw people off, but I don't know. I absolutely don't think the RAV4 found at the salvage yard is the correct one either. Both Steven and Brendan are innocent. Yeah. Yep. Avery Unchained, you're good. We're all good, Roxana Lopez, you're very informative. I know Brendan and Steven are innocent. Yes, cool. Thanks for contributing. There are people in Barb's position who have spoken up. Courtney is one of them. Dave is another. I'm another. Not much you can do against an organization. Okay, but you know what? We are speaking up, but we are not in the position that they're in. Certainly not Barb Tech. I don't give a shit what you say. And they know it. And they know, everybody involved knows that Barb doesn't have anyone to go to. And she doesn't. And I don't know why she would. She also is, has lived her life in that situation, and she's a certain type of person. And I think that she has some abuse that she doesn't talk about as well. And yeah, let's unmask the club. We have been, man. I don't know how much more we can. I mean, we are doing it. Someone just left some comment about that the other day, saying about Dave Bagatka, and I'm like, I'm asking people. So is Dave. Let's start with Bob Ziegelbauer, for the fuck's sakes. Go right in. Someone needs to go right in and intervene him. I had heard at one point that Chad Keller was going to, and I was bummed that he didn't. I want to know what Ziegelbauer has to say. I believe there have to be records from hospital to show if Scott was there. I think so too, and I think there's other information about Scott being at that hospital too. You know, there's got to be. They know it too. See, but the thing is they weren't looking at Scott intentionally. They actually left him alone for a whole week. Isn't that suspicious? When I'm sitting here saying that I know Scott was working with Colburn, and he acts like he didn't see Barb at all that week. Not much, or he wasn't there much. Total fucking lies. Avery's don't control what information we send, KZ. No. No, I don't agree with it that it's easy to get it to Zellner. I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm sorry. I don't have this dying respect for lawyers. I feel like she's a human like the rest of us, and I don't know. I guess she does. I mean, I'm not saying she has some kind of pen pal relationship or people just talk to her all the time, but I know that when people send her things, she does respond. I don't. It's my perception of her, and I don't. I also think that Laurencia Benbenek's lawyers fucked her so hard every which way. Not Mary Warrer, who's still representing her and trying to exonerate her. But the very attorney that she thought was working with her was as famous as Zellner is now, or maybe not, but pretty high profile, and he fucked her right in front of everybody. So, and she had no clue, and he told her the whole time it's gonna be all right, not giving one shit. So, nope, sorry. And I've tried to reach out to Zellner, and yeah. Bobby was driving a green car. Yeah, I think he was driving that RAV to the either to Scott's or the turnaround. Well, Obi-Wan Kenobi has information that could get Steven Avery a new trial right now. Kathleen has been suppressing it for years. Well, then he needs to get out here and get it out. I mean, I think we all think we have information like that, but all Obi needs to do is write to Steven, and Steven will write back to him. I do have Obi's address, and I gave it to Kim to give to Steven. I don't know if she did. This was last summer. I adore Obi Kenobi, and he does have some good information. I don't know. I too almost leave this case every day, so I understand why he's not here, and I hope he comes back. And yeah. Bobby and Scott hunted Teresa. I don't know. Possibly, yes. Okay. I think that she's, god damn it, maybe, But again, why would they take her off that property? Because, if Scott and Bobby are going to do it, you don't think fucking Earl doesn't want to be part of it? And I know Chucky would want to be part of it. I wonder if they didn't have to just do their part to get her where she needed to go, and there wasn't some type of ritual. And the one thing I know about rituals is that that's a really solid way to make people stay silent, because it could be you next, easily. And there is something suspicious about Carmen Boutwell. Absolutely. I think Carmen Boutwell is a massive key to this, all of this. Scott never went to the hospital that day. Nope, I don't think he did either. Mary, did he go that evening? Because I have heard something about him. I know he said he went that evening and was supposedly there for a long time, but that timeline doesn't match up with me and some people that I've talked to. So, yeah, I don't know about that. Scott took her to Joshua Sassi's for the late hustle shot, and Ryan ripped the appointment out of the book. Okay, I got it. Where is that, Corey? You have said to me that you think Josh Sasse. You have it spelled wrong. It's Sasse. And I know from my contact with DOJ that Mike Sasse is he's running the Department of Justice. And I looked him up when we were looking at Josh a year or so ago, and I think he's uncle to Josh. So, and then it did come up where it came up that this Josh Sasse owned like 3 houses on Cuss Road now or something. I don't know. Okay. And Ryan ripped the appointment out of the book. Okay. I need to know more. I don't know much about that. I think a lot of people came out after the fact claiming to be Teresa's friends who made up outright lies about what they claimed Teresa said. Okay. I don't know much about that. Okay. She was having a laugh. So was Avery. No, she was having a laugh. So was Avery and Jean. I don't know. Okay. Don't know what that means. Bottom line is the police had motive to murder her. The timeline with the lawsuit and all that is just too obvious. Police quarterbacked everything. You don't have to tell me that. I absolutely think so. I don't know if I must continue researching, working on the case. My second option is to watch funny videos with Brendan Picks and conversations with the Moose. It makes me wonder if I'm doing the right thing. Are we still on that, Avery Unchained? Come on. You are getting a little bullying here with Becca Chu. Stop it, please. I know you're bigger than that. And I know you're a really cool guy. I think you guys are having a misunderstanding, and I am gonna stand up for her. I don't give her any more shit, please. I'm asking you that as a friend, Avery Unchained. You stop that with Becca Chu. She's a good kid. She doesn't come on here. She didn't come on to Courtney Skinner's fucking live to give me shit. She came on here because she thought she could have a civilized conversation. So, and I know you're awesome, so please stop it, okay? What happened to Courtney's brother is not standard mafia shit. This club is some depraved shit, man. Yeah, I think that in my brother's situation, I think it was through the church, covered up through foster care. The church is who placed the kid, who ran kind of foster care, how it started. Yep, through the foster care. And then Jerry Pagel's undersheriff, Mark Ott, his dad was working that day as a Chilton or Calumet cop. I don't know. Yeah, it's a cover up all the way. The thing about my brother's case is that, yeah, just the amount of sexual abuse. And for him, it looks like in the picture that we have of him that they say that they had to do open heart massage on him. So you can see that his heart is stitched up. And I personally think they took his heart. And when I asked Mike Glazer about that, I said, I want you to exhume his body because in his autopsy, they mention a small amount of milky-like fluid, but they don't say milk. And I was saying to him, I'm pretty sure that he probably did have some DNA under his fingernails, and maybe we could find out what that white milky substance was, Mike Glazer. And he said to me, oh, Courtney, it isn't like it is on TV. And personally, when I've gone to my my brother's gravesite. He's buried next to my dad. And it's real sunken in. And I would not even be surprised if they hadn't already exhumed his body. Because there is a cover-up going on. And they know it. And they don't give any more shit about him than they do Teresa. That rab, I think, came from Herman's. Teresa Hallbuck had a full tank and her car wasn't bad like that one. Hey, it could have come from the Hermans, right? Absolutely in on it too, you know? You know, they're all however it needed to happen, right? Is it true that Scott and Barb came into money following the case buying a house? Yeah. And they had some bankruptcies that made it so it shouldn't seem like they should be able to. I think a lot of the dealings that go on around there is through land trade. You know, I don't think they walk around with stacks of money saying, "Good work, Scott, here you go." I think it's just the way that they can manipulate things. Like they probably have somebody working at the bank. No, they do have somebody working at the bank that can just pull these strings to make things smooth, happen that need to happen. The payoffs that aren't, you know, traceable maybe. Houses and cars, yeah. Well, and with the salvage yard, I think that they make their money through donations because I know I've been on their page and people join it every single day. And they, after seeing Make It a Murder, and they just want to help right away. So, yeah. How long have I been on this thing? This is so annoying. Okay. I'm going to cut it off pretty quick, but I want to keep answering these. So if you guys are cool with that, because it's been 2 hours. I always do these silly 2-hour videos. Scott did go to the hospital. He did go, but how long? I don't know. Okay, yeah, I don't know. You think it's good? Oh, good advice to send case information to Steven. His mail is read by prison officials. He sees. I think that is a stupid. You know, in Ann's life, I don't really care. You know, I don't. The truth doesn't need to be hidden, and I don't know who's sending. I don't know what's being sent to Steven. You know, Kim talks to Steven, and it's up to them how much they want to say, and they know. But I think Steven told her that they couldn't record them or they couldn't get copies of the recording by law or something like that. And, you know, I feel the same way about the jail system as I do about the judicial system. So, you know, if the truth still has to be kept from the law enforcement finding out through writing a letter to Steven, well, I guess that's just about where we're at in the world, right? And, you know, we can't hide anything anymore. The truth is the only thing that matters. Barb was in bankruptcy. Okay. Connected to Carmen Belt will actually look similar to Bobby. And in the night could have been the person pushing the rab along with his brother. Who's that? Somebody connected to Carmen. Tell me Gary Cree, would you, Nan? Tell me Gary Cree. Thank you for taking the time to research. I'm learning every day more and more. Thank you. You're welcome. There's a lot of really great research, a lot of people trying. You have the info. Avery Unchained has the info on the hospital or the bankruptcy. Okay, cool. Oh, you guys went through so there has been footage of Scott not being at the hospital, Mary? Really cool. Can you post that? Can you put that in a comment? I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah, and you know, I just went to the library today because I live in Appleton, but part of it is Calumet County, so they have the plat books from out here. And I don't know about the land. I don't know. I think you're talking about the trust, but I was interested to find out that the the Hallbucks land out there, there weren't any Hallbucks out there in the 50s. And then in the 60s, they start coming. And then all of a sudden, and it starts with, Cyril, I think, right? But I was surprised to see that it, wa- it never was in, it went from Cyril, I think, to Karen, and then Karen and Tom Hallbuck. But they have about 200 acres right there. I'm sure they have more, but this main piece that always belonged to Cyril went from them to Karen and Tom. And then it just, there's all kinds of Hallbucks. So April Lynn is in the house. Cool. Where? Is that Kisser My Chick? Let's see. Scott Taddick hunting buddy just happens to be the judge. Was Scott Taddick driving Bobby's truck that was crushed? Why is Steven going to have a dead sister? How do you walk away from a mortgage and buy a house? Yeah, I think I know a lot of people have their own opinion on if you do that, you're going to have a dead sister. Well, it's Scott and law enforcement, I think. Either way, I think I think if Bobby killed himself, they'd love it. Maybe not. I'm sure they're saying, "Oh, Bobby, the law enforcement is, I'm sure, put their arms around Bobby and told him how important and crucial he is to all of this and how hard it must be for him." But I think if he killed himself, it would be, and God, I think if any of them, something happened to any of them, they'd be happy they could put it all on them. Steve's letter fits into what I have been saying for decades. Yeah. Okay, both Gary Cree and his brother Ron Huber's. Gary skipped town and went to Texas. So yes, that is who I'm saying. Nan. Okay, she's saying both Gary Cree and his brother were on Huber. Gary skipped town and went to Texas. So yes, that is who I'm saying. It took 30 days after Gary Cree was a no-show at jail before a warrant was issued. Found in Texas, returned. Here's what I think is interesting, and this is just what I mean, and I don't know if there's any connection, but here's how small the circle is and how everybody is related. Do you know who Gary Cree's mother-in-law was? Or Debbie Hochstetler. Debbie Hochstetler's daughter has, I think, 2 kids with Gary Cree. So that's what is so like, what the fuck? And that there too, probably a reason that, she doesn't really want to be all involved in this shit, because I know that her daughter's, got in some trouble and did some time. So I think she was the primary caregiver for her daughters and Gary Cree's children, which are older now, but really strange. I don't know if it's a coincidence, but that Gary Cree, and then he comes up on Carmen Boutwell's too, as she has a no contact with Gary Cree. So something is very up there. Carmen did not die the way they said. That's all I can say. Someone said it's been taken down. Okay. Could be judge pushing in the driveway. Could be the judge pushing in the driveway. Could be the judge. I don't know what that means, Dave. Oh, the judge. Could be the judge pushing that car in the driveway with Bobby. Is that what you're saying? I don't know. Well, we got a little pretty much off track. I appreciate everybody coming on, or this would have been a way shorter video, which might have been nice too. I don't really feel like we I mean, I guess I really didn't have that much to say about the details of his letter because I too have felt the way he's feeling in the letter for quite a while. And I'll never stop believing that the family that lives on the crime scene should have this figured out or at least dedicate their life to having it figured out, especially Barb because she's next, man. I mean, they're taking Bobby, and I guess if that's what she wants. I look at life and and believe in a higher power and realize that life is gonna go the way it goes, but I'm not gonna be on my knees. I'm not gonna be living a lie. I'm gonna be honest and not covering for anybody. I don't understand it, but I do understand that Barb doesn't have anyone to go to, and I don't even think she could. Maybe she could go to Zellner. I don't know. I don't trust Zellner totally either. So no, I don't. I actually believe that I'm the only one that Barb can come to, and I do believe that. And I would, if she's ready, and she'd have to make a big step, but I would keep her safe and take her and do what she needs, But there's a lot that has to happen before any of that can happen. So thanks for listening. Don't know if it was beneficial, helpful to anyone, but I'm glad that we gave Steven a voice today. And if he has another letter, we'll see. Somewhat Mary says Steve lost his mom. Why should he not tell the truth? Yeah. Oh, I'm a little lost on all the conversation, you guys. Right. I hope Barb does too, But we have to unite the community, and this was a good lesson here in this chat on how it, just that it needs to happen, you guys. Okay. So thanks for being here. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's terrible. But hey, I don't know where some of the people went, but do your own videos. Let's all do this stuff. This wasn't my idea to be out here, but it is nice to have, people's input. So let's get them free. Let's unite this community. It doesn't matter if we don't like each other. We don't have to, I say all the time, I don't, no offense, Steven Avery, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be hanging out with that guy. I believe he's innocent, and I'm sure he has a bunch of great qualities. I know he does, but I'm not doing this because I'm like, man, he is a guy that I think that we'd be really good friends. Nope, he's a wrongfully convicted person that deserves justice. I can say that I know I could make Brendan laugh. Like I think I could be I think I could hang out with that kid for a while, but I like being an aunt, so I'd probably just give him some shit and make him laugh. So anyway, thank you all for coming. Have a great night, and let's keep the fight going.